Okay, so I am going to do one of the CSX challenge called groupBy. This is one of the problems that I actually had the most difficulty with until I learned some important concepts. So I would like to share it with you. So in this, I'm just gonna read the question first. So it's gonna create a function groupBy that will offset an array and callback and returns an object. So groupBy will iterate through the array and perform the callback on each element, and each return value from the callback will be saved as a key on the object, and the value associated with each key will be an array consisting of all the elements that resulted in that return value when passed into the callback. So if you look at the line 4 through 6, so it looks like we're gonna be using the array called decimals. So, and then floor will be the callback function. So it kind of looks like when you pass in the element at the 0 index. Oh yeah, so if you put in a 1.3, it's gonna do the callback function and it's gonna floor it, which means that it's gonna turn out 1. So in this line 6, so value 1 is gonna be the return value from the callback, and the 1.3 is a corresponding element within the array. However, the problem here is that if so we did use the second second element, which is a 2.1, and it made you got a 2 from the callback function, so that's fine. And however, when you do the third one, it's going to run the callback function. It's going to return 2, and it's going to be added to the same array that's already inside the object. Okay, so I am going to start by declaring a function in the global memory. Name is going to be groupBy, and we already know from the question that it's going to take an array. Did I spell it wrong? Array and callback function. So since we want to return we want to have it's going to return an object. We want to start by declaring in the function level execution context. We're going to declare some empty object to be played with. So declare empty object. I'm just gonna declare it as a result. Let result, and it's gonna be equal to 0. Since we are not gonna be modifying the, we will be playing with it, but we're not gonna be like changing the value of the variable. We can just do it as a constant. And so what we want to do is we're gonna iterate through the array, and the result from the callback function will be the key within the object, and the corresponding element in the array within the parameter array will be the value of the object in the array form. So since we want to iterate through the array, I'm gonna be using a for loop. So I'm gonna declare some constant inside. It's gonna be just element of array, because we're gonna be iterating through the parameters. And here's the fun part. So I'm gonna do the first. So we have two conditions. if there is no existing key in the object, we are gonna we're gonna have a key which will be the return value from the callback, and we're gonna have a value which is the element within the array that's passed in. So this is condition 1. If there is already a existing key in the object, we're gonna have a key which is a return value from the callback, and value will be similar element that will be push here passed in, so 99 array of element. So here at line 12, the value will be the element that will be pushed to the same array. Okay. So I am going to start actually. I'm gonna start with a condition that if the key is already inside the object, so I'm gonna do an if statement. So if did I do the result? Okay. So result so we want to do the key, which is the not this one. So we want to know if this at line 31, if we want to know if 1 is already in there, so which is the callback of the element, the specific element in the for loop. So this, if that is in the result, so here in is to use to check if there is a key which is the callback, which is the return value from the callback of the element is in the result. If it already exists, I am going to push that into the corresponding value. So we're gonna have to do the result callback element. So this is gonna since this is gonna access the array result, and using the bracket notation, it's gonna access the key, which is for example like number 1. So this whole thing is gonna access the value of the within the object. So we're gonna inside there, if it already exists, we are going to push that element. Otherwise, we are just going to declare the key value pair. So callback element, which is the same as the element, but in the array form. Okay, so result. Yeah, I think it's right. And so this is the if statement. So I think this is all done. So we're gonna exit the for loop, and we are going to lastly return the result. Alright, let me try. Okay, so it's working. Alright,